going on, my friends? We'll do the K Paso. That's how we say it in Spanish. Hope y'all can hear me okay. We'll wait for I just created this just a second ago. I was out here doing my last video. I said, well, it's a nice night. Let's do a live stream out in the back deck, shall we? Thought it'd be a lot of fun to do. So hopefully we'll get some folks joining us. I can already hear Pablo barking up there. Somebody needs to let him out. And I'm just sitting on the back deck in my cup of hot tea. Oh, Kevin. By all means, if y'all have questions you want to throw my way, please do so. And I'll make up an answer for you. How's that grab you? Yep. Evening, everybody. I'll be right back. I got to go get Pablo out. Hold on just a second. I'll be right back. Oh, boy. You good? Big boy? Big old knucklehead? All right. Had to get Pablo. So I had Finney was barking. I had him. Charlotte got a little bit too much sun today, so she had a headache. She was up in the, just kind of resting her eyes, if you know what I'm saying. And Finney was hanging with her. So I bring Charlotte her hot tea, and then I come back down, and I'm out here getting this started. All of a sudden, Finney's like, rough. So I said, okay, come on. I'll go up the stairs, get Finney out, come downstairs, start this. All of a sudden, I hear Pablo. Bah, yes, I did, Kim. Hey, Mary, what's going on? Hey, Mary from Georgia. Haven't seen you around these parts for a while. Don Juan's in here. Ooh. Kind of creepy bird flying overhead. I think he's trying to get Pablo. James T. Yeah, dude. There you go, Angelo. They're taking around. That's the pool I got last year. Look at that puppy. It's fantastic, man. Use it for the first time today. I hope I'm not buffering. Yeah, right on. All right, Mary. Mary says she's been homeschooling since January. That's kept me pretty quiet. All right, well, good job, Mary. It's God's work, man. Right on. Am I buying crypto on the dip? Niet, as we say, because we're Putin stooges. We say niet. Don't let him fly out with Pablo. Yeah, so we got right on. Pools are, that sucker's already been paid for, Susan. So they're a hell of a lot more expensive now than they were. That's for sure. A lot of people. Last year we almost didn't get it done, and then I said, well, got some money saved because I keep cash. I said, let's go ahead and get it done. Now I'm glad I did because they've gone up. The price in the pools is crazy. Thanks, KG. KJ says really enjoys my advice. Muchos gracias. Yeah, I don't know, James. I'm not sure how to get pool supplies. I'm not sure. Did y'all see that picture of Finney? It wasn't the dogs or the plural, Kim. It was Finney. So Finney had a bed, and man, all right, let's just put it this way. Let's just say you eat some Mexican food, and you know where you got to go a few minutes after you eat Mexican food. You know what I'm saying? And I love some Mexican food. So after eating Mexican food, let's just put it this way. I was out of commission for 10 minutes, if you know what I'm saying. And this is what you've come to expect of this channel, the professionalism, and I hope I'm not buffering. I'm hearing these noises. I come back and I say, holy crap, Finney had demolished his bed. It was like freaking rain of snow all over the living room. My wife's like, no, don't vacuum. I was like, I already vacuumed because she said it's going to break the vacuum. It didn't do it. I got that sucker up. I was like, Finnegan, big old knucklehead. Yeah, dude. Well, this is one of the things I want to talk about. My backyard looks so peaceful. And we got a couple babies going to join us. There's one. Finney, want to say hi? Oops. Finney, where's Pablo? Pablo, where'd you go? Oh, there. Oh, Pablo going the other way. This is one of the things I want to talk about is just the peacefulness of being outside. Texas passed a bill. Yeah, Ron, we got to stop relying on that's fantastic. I like that. That should never got there to begin with, though. I mean, that's the problem. We got to stop relying on the DC and then going down the state. You got to get involved in the county. You got to get involved in your locality, your precinct, for heaven's sake. You see what I'm saying? Because it's like we have always thought it starts on the top and works its way down. It doesn't. It starts on the bottom and works its way up. You see what I'm saying? I mean, AOC didn't start from the top. You know, she didn't. AOC started from the bottom. You know, the literal bottom. You know, she said, "I'm gonna primary some clown," and she got the people on her side and won. And now, you know, she's freaking. I mean, look, she's a maroon. I grant you, but she's effective. And you know, she's at the end of the day, we call it the Corbynization of the Democratic Party. I mean, they're so anti-Semitic, it's not even debatable anymore. But it's not just anti-Semitic; it's anti-all religion. And trust me, people say, "Oh, they're pro-Muslim." No, they're not. They're anti-all religion. The only religion they adhere to is that of statism, of a power. This is what's happening for sure. There's no other way around that. They adhere to the religion of power, and they'll lie. It's just like Satan. They'll lie, cheat, and steal to get power. They don't care. If you think, oh, they don't care. They're going to do whatever it takes to get power. And if you find out that later on that you got suckered because they lied to you, well, they're going to say, sucks for you. But we're in power, so what are you going to do? And Republicans thought all starts from here. Why do you think the Democrats have gone so crazy? Because AOC, but it's not just, it's even before her. And Bernie Sanders, look, he's a clown. I mean, the guy's just a clown. You see what I'm saying? No one cares about Bernie Sanders. I mean, rich, wealthy liberals on the coast, I get it, you know, white liberals, but no one real cares about Bernie Sanders. But the Ilhan Omars and they're congresswomen. But it starts even before that. City council in Seattle got socialists. I mean, look, Seattle's lost, I grant you. But what's going on in your local area? What's going on in your local middle of the road purplish area? You see what I'm saying? Who's running the show there? Who's your public health person? Who's your school people? Well, it's going to be the teachers' unions by and large in terms of school. I guarantee you, man. And teachers' unions, they're not up to any good. Randy Weingartner, and I forgot the lady from the NEA. I can't remember who NEA. AFT, freaking clown show. They're up to bad stuff. Bad stuff. And Randy Weingartner is up to bad stuff. And the NEA is horrible. NEA is freaking AFT is moderate compared to the NEA. You see what I'm saying? So who's in charge of your locality? I don't even know. I'm in Fulton County. I mean, I know who my county commissioner who represents North Fulton County is. So we got one Republican, and let's just put it this way. I'm familiar with some of his folks he runs with, which we're not fond of. So I didn't vote for any of them because anyway, long story short, in Fulton County, we got one Republican, the county commissioner, and I guess 4 Democrats, you know, because it's Fulton County, Georgia. So we're getting smoked everywhere. But so in of itself, though, if you're in a non-Fulton County, let's say you're in a Loudoun County, Virginia, you know what I'm saying? Who the hell's running your schools? Who the hell's your public health authority? These are the people determining your future for your kids and yourself. And we all want to say, oh, let's go freaking make Trump. And I'm like, look, okay, but Trump can't coordinate your local school districts. Anyway, so that's good. I'm glad they did. But what the hell? They should never came to be that we had to do this. It's nuts. I want to share with you something here real quick, actually. No, I'm not. No, see, it's not for Congress. It's not for Congress. It's you can't. I was watching my man Simon over Uneducated Economist, and some guy was saying the same thing. Simon for Congress, and or whatever it was. No, it's not the federal government that dictates action. They follow. The federal the laws that are in Congress are not written by Congress people. They're written by lobbying groups. That's all there is to it. And lobbying groups get their power from local authorities just all over the place, man. You see what I'm saying? It's all local. It's all local. And if you're not involved locally, and I know a lot of us, like, I don't want to be involved in politics. But you have to. And it starts, it could be your local HOA. That's not quite the same, but you see what I'm saying? That's how local it has to be, man. Because once they start doing it in the locality, it rises. Because the issue with the politicians, dude, they're like electricity. They go the path of least resistance. And they're going to say, at the end of the day, whoever gripes the most, we're just going to do whatever they want to shut them up so I can go back and live my life unaccountable to any electorate. In the media, if I got a D after my name, is going to report on me anyway. You see what I'm saying? Did you hear about Louis Freeh giving $100,000 to Joe Biden's grandchildren? What the hell is that? What the hell is Louis Freeh? Is a public servant his whole life, FBI. You know what I'm saying? The whole thing. What the hell is it? Where does he get enough money to give to Joe Biden's grandparents? I mean, my goodness, man. If that was the Trumpster, you know Trumps would be freaking out in Siberia by now. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Susan, I was raised. I've cast my first vote for Mike Dukakis in 1988 and Barbara Mikulski as Senate in Maryland, man. I had an upside-down American flag hanging up in my room. We had, and I've said this 1,000 times, but there's all kinds of new people here. So I was raised on the far left. The far left. We had a Gus Hall and Angela Davis stickers in our house in the 1976, 1980s. Jesse, my dad had when he first got a car in 1983, 84. He had a Jesse Jackson thing, and we lived in Maine, man. And you know, he had a Jesse Jackson for president bumper sticker. I mean, far lefties. Jimmy Carter was too right for us, even though my mom did cry when Reagan beat him because my mom thought we're all going to die under a nuclear catastrophe. And we would have if Reagan didn't win. That's for damn sure. All right. All right. So I want to talk just real quick, and then we can get on what you all want to talk about. I've been hearing a lot, going back to the local level, a lot of people, literally their jobs are at stake if they don't do one of three things, essentially. Adhere to the Black Lives Matter mob in terms of the woke DIE crap. And it is die. Now they're trying to make it day, like DEI. Isn't that like Latin for God or something like that? Diversity, inclusion, equity. This is some evil, evil crap. And they're pushing that. I don't know what it is with like corporate white guys who like, I don't know what it is. I don't know why they feel this need to show that they're so woke. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing as a white man to say, dude, can't you just show some freaking kahunas and say this is racist and we don't allow racists here? It's the weirdest thing. I don't understand. It's nuts. No respect for me whatsoever. All right, so you're at some stupid corporate America. You're like, man, I've got to adhere to diversity, equity, inclusion. I call it die because you're going to be dead if you do. Or you got to address yourself in pronouns, literally address yourself in pronouns, or else you could potentially lose your job. Dude, this is freaking nuts, man. This is stupid, evil crap. Or at some point, you got to get a vax. And so I've been hearing from a number of y'all that email me and whoa, Fanny. Maybe I'll take you around. Well, I probably won't be able to do it on my laptop. But what? No, hey, oh my goodness, what are you doing? He just dug up on my potato plants, that rapscallion Finnegan. Let's see if I can show you guys. This is just a experiment. Let's see if y'all can see. Fanny, I hope I'm not buffering. Yeah, you're not gonna be able to see him. See him up there, right there. Hey, yes, I see you, you rapscallion. Getting one of my potato plants. You little rapscallion. Anyway, I was trying to experiment with potatoes and with part sun as opposed to being full sun behind that teal. That's not teal. No, that's not. I forgot what kind of plant that is. A bush, to see if that would grow. So I have a couple experiments going on back there with potatoes, and I do all my potatoes in containers. So these ones I just put in some soil. It's some clay soil. You should see that knucklehead. And and it's in part shade. It's not even part sun, part shade. And I got a bunch in full sun, and those guys are doing kick ass. And then Finney just destroyed that one that was in part shade. And then I got some dude. I just what a knucklehead. All right, what was I saying? So anyway, and then you got to. So I'm hearing a lot from you guys saying I'm going to lose my job if I don't get vaxxed, if I don't listen to DIE, and if I don't follow the pronoun crap. And I just like at some point you're going to have to make it. And like, this is not ethical. It's not. And at some point you're going to have to make a decision. Do you stay there? I mean, because if you do, you're literally, and I'm not judging. I'm just not. But if you stay in these companies, you are feeding the beast. You're accepting it. And at some point, you got to say, we can't do this. And you can't. And look, man, I'm not saying just wake up one day and say, I'm getting the hell out of here. I mean, have a plan of action, but it's getting to the point where you're going to have to separate yourself from the world, if that makes sense. It's almost like biblical, don't be of this world. And you're going to have to make that choice. And I tell you, man, it's tough to do. I was talking to a guy today. I was in his shoes. He's making like $200,000 a year, something like that. He's been making that for a while. And he said, man, that's a lot of money. I said, dude, I know. And he's fine. I mean, hell, he and his wife are freaking fine. But it's not having that income that he's been accustomed to is scary. And they don't spend that much. It's kind of funny. I was like, hell, I would have quit freaking 25,000 years ago. And but he's used to the level of income, and it can be scary not having that. It can be scary. You're like, I'm used to X and I don't have X anymore. And not only do I have it coming in as every 2 weeks, now I got to pull money out. It's psychologically scary. It is. But I'm telling you, when I quit my job and started my own business, one of the two things happened to me. I heard so many people in my line of work who said, I wish I would have done it earlier. I heard that 1,000 times. I heard it once. I wish I would have done it earlier. And I said, there's got to be something to this. Now, I'm not just talking to people who are successful, if that makes sense. I mean, these people still are running their businesses, but it wasn't like these people are, bringing home $1 million. It wasn't like that at all. It was just people who found the freedom of being able to do it as they wanted to do. And it wasn't about the money. It was about, they said, I just wish I would have done it earlier. Man, I said, okay, there's something here because I keep hearing that. And part two is a guy, and his name's Alan Morris. And I'm not the biggest fan of this guy, but he's one of the founders of XY Planning Network. And he's lefty. He's way too woke for me. But he said something that has always stuck with me, and I always give him credit for this. He said, I knew if I failed in starting my own business, I could go work for another firm. I could go back and say, hey, I tried my way, for 3 years and do my own firm. It didn't work. Can I have a job with you? And no one's going to look down on him and say, oh, you're a failure starting your own firm. We don't want you. He said, no one's. And I said, that is so true. Like, you said, you don't go, telling everybody to F off, but you leave and you just leave, you know what I'm saying? And you don't grant an exit interview. This is what I did at Vanguard. And I'm sure I'll never be hired again at Vanguard. In 1999, when I left Vanguard, I'll never forget, I had a black HR lady interviewing me for my exit interview. She said, why are you leaving? I said, because I can't stand the racism here. She goes, oh, yeah, I know. There's a lot of racism. I'm surprised to hear from you, though. I said, why? She goes, well, you're white. You're not affected by it. I said, what the hell are you talking about? I said, that's exactly what I'm talking about. What you just said is exactly what I'm talking about. I'm tired of it. You guys are preaching all this anti-white stuff all the time. She goes, oh, if you only could walk a mile in my shoes. And I said, hell, if you only walk a mile in my shoes. You're saying something about, you have no clue what I've been through. I have no clue what you've been through. So let's just assume we've all been through hard times and leave it at that and move on. And I'm sure she wrote, said, I'm a racist, I'm a Trump supporter, even though there's way before Trump. That's in 99. And, don't do that. Don't give them the benefit of the doubt knowing why you're leaving. Because I'm sure, I think I applied to Vanguard like once or twice. They had an interesting job that was over the last, later, I can't remember. I forgot my CFP. I can't remember. But I remember I applied a couple times and I never got a call back. I wasn't really expecting much, but I remember there's a couple of jobs I would have been good at for them. I said, oh, I could do that. And I said, I'm sure it had something to do with my exit interview because she didn't care she wanted to label me a racist because I was white and I didn't go with the company line. That was back in 1999. Anyway, so when you leave, don't do that because, you might need to go back. If you go back, say, I got to try my own hand at this. You see what I'm saying? Don't burn your bridges like I did because you might find that you wish you did not. But you always can leave that as a opportunity to say, okay, I'm going to go try my own thing. And if it doesn't work, no one's going to say, you failed. You're a failure. No, you say, I learned. I'm better for it. I'm a better employee now that I know freaking how hard it is to run a business. If that makes sense. And I'm telling you, man, it's and someone's smoking some. Oh, yeah, someone's got some serious smoke going on. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, man, I smoked some ribs today on a gas grill. You can smoke ribs on a gas grill. Oh, that was good too, man. Oh, I let those suckers marinate for 2 days. Oh, man. And it followed that up with some Kroger Maine blueberry cheesecake ice cream. Oh, man, that was good. Anyway, so what was I saying? So you got at some point you got to say, all right, I've got to break from the society that I'm in, because the society I am is evil. It really is, man. It's evil. To say, you have to say they, them, or whatever the hell. I don't even know what the hell it is, because it's so freaking stupid. It's not, it's just, it's dumb, and you know it, and you're perpetuating it by falling in with the crowd in that regard. And you just gotta have a come to Jesus moment. You gotta get on your knees and say, I don't know if I can do this, God, and have him guide you. And he will. And he might not guide you where you want to go, but just be quiet for a few minutes, let him guide you, and just say, God, what do I do? What do I do? And just let him guide you. And he'll tell you the path. And again, it might not be something you like. It might be something where you're like, you're going to have to take a pretty substantial pay cut. And all the things you've been spending money on, a lot of it's wasteful. Trust me, I know it. Hell, I can't tell you how much money I've wasted on my life. Oh, my goodness. And you're just going to say, okay, so, but God, I don't want to do that. Well, then you're going to throw in with the evil that is taking over. Whoa, okay there. Man, I got to give you a bath there, big boy, because you just made a big old mess. Anyway, and you're going to have to come. I cannot tell you how many people have emailed me this. One after the other after another. You know, my company wants me to do this, and I just can't. And then you got to think about your kids, man. If not you, who? If you don't stand up to the mob, who? I get it. You got a mortgage. I get it 100%. That's why you don't just do it willy-nilly, but have a strategic plan to get the hell out of Dodge. So when I was at USAA, I was pulling in $200,000 roughly with a nice bonus of 10, 15%. Maybe 180 with it seemed like I was making 225 my last year at USA, all included. And that did not include the 401k contributions and all that. So I was making bucks, man. But I remember in 2016, I started laying the foundation for what I want to do. I wasn't quite sure, but I said, I got to get the hell out of here. I said, I got this company is not, it's taken. Oh, my wife just liked me on Facebook. I said, this company it's not good for me anymore as an employee. And I'll never forget how they did it just kind of under the cover of darkness. I remember reading their diversity and inclusion thing. It said gender identification. I'd never forget. I said, I remember this is in 2015 or 15. I was like, where did this go? It was the weirdest thing. I said, where is this? And I don't care what you call yourself. I don't care. I literally don't. But I remember that was kind of sneaky. I said, where'd that come from, man? It's strange. And anyway, and I remember they had this debate about a topic, which we won't get too deep in here. And I remember if you had said anything against the corporate line of said topic, they reported you to your manager. It was like this intranet, supposedly a chat room thing where you could say what was on your mind about the change in the corporate goals or whatever the hell it was in terms of diversity, equity, inclusion. They didn't quite call it there, but they just called diversity. And it was woke crap. And I remember a bunch of people said, what the hell? This is nuts. Did you put this before the board of directors? Who's doing this? And they reported those people to their management, and some got let go. I'll never forget that. I said, this is creepy stuff. That was like in 2015, 2016. And I was like, this is not, that's a USAA. It's bad. And, but they take this is the issue. This is the fascistic society we live in. They take their marching orders from government, and USAA is a private entity. They're still a tax-paying entity. They're not a credit union, but they still pay income tax on their profits. But they're like not quite a fraternal, but they're kind of like that. But anyway, they're member owned. But anyway, long story short is they take their marching because their contracts are through the federal government by and large. DOD, all that crap. And DOD says jump. And if you're getting money from DOD, you're saying how high. It's just that simple, man. And this is fascism. Part and parcel. The government dictates, and the corporations. Excuse me, I just burped. That was kind of rude. Excuse me. Oops. That's from all my ribs I was eating. I was just chowing, man. I probably got stuff all over my face. So the government dictates and the corporations execute. This is fascism 101. Mussolini would be proud. And so this is the same thing with the Dear Colleague letter that Obama's Secretary of Education, who's back in charge now, sent about Title IX crap. And it said, basically, if a girl accuses a boy of anything, you're to assume guilt on the boy. It doesn't matter if you're Lena Dunham and you're making crap up and you get all the money in the world, and some kid who just you happen to don't like for some because you found out he's Republican gets accused. It doesn't matter. we're going to assume Lena Dunham is right. We're going to assume the victims. It's all bull crap. Betsy DeVos did what she could to fight back against that. All right, hold on a second. Let me text and see if someone can let Pablo in. But hold on just a second. Pablo! Hold on just a second. I'm the only one, apparently. I didn't realize that all my kids and... Can someone let Pablo in? Please. All right. Just Charlotte, give me a thumbs. Hold on a second. All right, so anyway. You're just going to have to make that decision for yourself. And then you're going to have to assume. Can you all hear him? That bark. Woo. Not a lion roar, but hi there, you little monkey head. Yes, sir. I see him looking through the gates. Oh my goodness. Not the lion roar, but whew, that is piercing. Pablo, come here. Oh my goodness. You have to make a decision at some point. Now, for me, like I said, so in 2016, I started planning my exit. And I said I wasn't sure what it's going to be, but I knew I wanted to get the hell out of there. And then when we had to do the stupid commute down a bucket, I just couldn't do it anymore. So I said, okay, we're being run by idiots, mid-level managers, the Peter principle, they're promoted to their highest level of incompetence. They would not back you. It was bad. And so I said, okay, what am I going to do? So I started interviewing. So I took a notepad this thick of just companies that were all over the United States. I said, look, I got a master's degree. I'm good at sales. I got CFP. I'm not afraid of prospect. Would you take me on? And I started sending out emails after emails after emails, connecting people on LinkedIn, all that stuff. I just started doing it one by one by one. And some people, a lot won't call you back or even email you back. Some will. But what happens is I didn't even really care. Like I was talking to firms in freaking Arizona, Nevada, Indiana. I was like, I don't care. I just want to get I just want to start talking to people and get the right fit. I talked to one lady up in Fredericksburg, Virginia, who I liked a lot, actually. I was a big fan of them. I can't remember if they offered me a job or not. I can't remember. And I forgot if they did. But and I talked to another group up in Fairfax, Virginia. And I liked the one woman, but the others, for some reason, one did not like me. I don't know why. She must be a big lip. But anyway, I can't remember. Anyway, long story short, it was a good experience. So I started talking to people. I want to know what it was that was a common issue among these firms and their hiring tactics and their business practice. And it's always about sales, client relationships, client development, all that. So I was able to hone on that. Anyway, long story short, for about a year and a half, I said, okay, here. And I started looking. And then, one job in particular looked very good. And they paid me well. And I said, okay, that looks pretty good. And that's the job I took. It turned out, like a lot of times it does, is that you want to give yourself a trial run. And it wasn't all that was cracked up to. The people are nice. It just wasn't my cup of tea. So I hadn't moved my family or anything like that. That was good. And then in the interim, I went back to a firm that had also offered me a job up in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. And I said I wasn't going to work with them because I was going to take this other job. And so I went back to them and said, hey, if you're still looking, they said, yeah. And they tried to give me the runaround. And I said, look, I'm not here to play the runaround game. Just tell me yay or nay. Because I already kind of knew I was going to go start my own business if this other job didn't work out. And she said, okay. And so I went up there for 9 months or so, and that was okay. It was not my cup of tea again. And at that point, I was like, but in that year that I was working for these two other firms, I was building my foundation for what I'm doing now. I was practicing on YouTube. I was getting my, learning SEO, search engine optimization. I was doing all this stuff because at some point, the company I was up with in New Hampshire, I said, yeah, this isn't going to work. And I said, when it doesn't, I want to be able to fly out of there. And I wasn't accepting a paycheck for nothing. I was still working. Don't get me wrong. I was still doing what I was supposed to do. But I said, I want to fly out of here with my 2 feet on the ground, ready to rock and roll. I don't want to fly out of there and wonder what I'm going to do next. And it's funny because when I quit, as they do in this business, they usually walk you out. And she was actually pretty upset with me. It was actually kind of embarrassed. I was kind of embarrassed for her. I was like, whoa, she's really mad. And I was like, it was weird. because she was just mad at me for something else, like literally the day before. And I was like, whoa. She went over the top on me for something like literally the day before. And now when I said, okay, when I'm leaving, she went over the top for me for leaving. I said, this is something ain't flying, floating there. Anyway, so long story short, I posted my first video on for this channel when I was in the hotel room in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. What did I do for my other channel? I forgot, but I posted my first, I think it was this channel, my first video when I was in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. I had quit that morning. She walked me out, and then that day I posted my first video here. And I said, I'm going to do like my man Miles Beckler said, do a video a day for 120 days, develop the muscle, the habit. And ever since then, it's been, the first year was tough. I made no money the first year, $24,000. Took $100,000 from my IRA. It's actually $130,000. I netted $100,000. So it cost me $130,000 to net $100 to supplement my $24,000 of income. Freaking scary, dudes. Scary. You know what I'm saying? But I said a video a day. And I found I like this. And I'm going to do more videos a day. And I'll never forget the one video I did that was viral for me, had like 90 views within the first 2 hours. I was like, whoa, it's something on annuities. I'll never forget, maybe even 100 views. And I was like, whoa, people are loving this. I said, this is going viral for me. It had like 90 or 100 views within the first 2 hours. I'll never forget that. I was like, man, this is great. And, and I'll never forget my first comment was a lady. I did my Social Security for divorcees. And I had a lady comment, and I had a bunch of comments on that video. And I commented back, and I was like, people are actually commenting. Couldn't believe it. Then the first person ever reached out to me from Indiana. I said, oh, my goodness. Actually, probably wasn't the first. He's the first paying customer I ever got on YouTube, some guy from Indiana. I see him on occasion on here. And I said, holy crap, I landed I wasn't charging very much back then, but I landed a client. Someone actually paid for my services via finding me on YouTube. I said, this is nuts. And I had a number of people I talked to that weren't going to pay me, and that basically wanted to kick the tires and essentially waste my time. But that was a learning process, if that made sense. And so now you fast forward, here I am. It's freaking kicking butt, take names. I love it. Will it continue on? I don't know. YouTube will probably ban me at some point, but it's great. And I'm in my. This is what you got to figure out for yourself. It's like, okay, how do I do that? And this is what I tell this guy today who's, maybe think about retiring here the next year. I said, man, we won't say his name, was called Bob. I say, Bob, look, man, the one thing I can tell you is make sure you have something to do every single day. Be it if you want to learn Spanish, an hour a day, you got to do Spanish. If you want to learn how to do an hour a day is your job, or something. Garden, if you want, I don't care what the hell it is. If you want to do, you have to have something to do every day, at least an hour. Say, I've got to do this every day. No excuses. You have to do it. That is your job. I don't know what it is. If it's going to be, freaking gardening, you've got to do it every day. Your job is to do this. In this case, he doesn't need the money because he's set financially, or else I told him you're going to get bored and you're going to get cranky and you'll probably get fat because you'll end up eating. Because I'm telling you, I work from home now. And that snack machine in my pantry, I walk by that every time. I'm like, oh, I could do that. I'm like, dude, it's horrible, man, horrible. And even though I try to go low carbs, I still have some. I have like those low carb snacks. Well, yeah, low carb snacks are good if you only eat one. But hell bells, man, I like big old freaking swamp machine eating those things. I'm just like, so anyway, long story short is you got to have that thing to do every day. Every day. I don't care what it is, but you have to have something to do. So if you're going to quit your crappy old job, don't just quit and not go to something. You got to quit to go to something. So maybe give yourself a 2-year plan, or the Commie 5-year plan. Or if you're familiar with punk rock, DRI, their crossover album. So DRI, Dirty Rotten Imbeciles from Texas, if memory serves. They were like the fastest punk rock band in the mid 80s. Freaking awesome. I used to have the 12-inch LP, which probably worth something right now. And of course, I sold that to hire an attorney. Painful. And then they went on and they did the first metal, what's called a crossover album. So punk / hardcore. They threw some metal in there in like the mid 80s, 85, 86. DRI. They have this album called Crossover. And the first song on Crossover was 5 Year Plan. I remember all the hardcore punk rock kids say, that's metal. We hate metal. But deep down inside, all those hardcore punk rock kids love Slayer. They love, I don't know about Metallica so much, but they love Slayer. They love some death metal. You know what I'm saying? They love Black Sabbath. I always got the Iron Maiden, but there's the cool kids say, I don't like metal. That's what we used to say in the 80s. You know, they're listening to Slayer and Exodus and, oh my goodness, Napalm Death. Anyway, so all right, that's what I gotta say. Noonan, Georgia, check in. Right on, man. Right on. Let's see what you guys got to say. So let's sales is, yeah, I'm on Jerry. Right on. So I put my, don't forget, Jerry's YouTube channel is GWETF channel. I think it's GWETF. GWI is, anyway. He's got a good YouTube channel. He mentioned QYLD. When I did a video on QYLD, Jerry gave me some ideas on that, which is interesting in terms of how the QYLD ETF actually works. Yep, right here. Susan, I worked in the plural for major airline, about to be hit with CRT theory. Yep, left before I had to cringe. Exactly. Would you stop? Hey, big baby. Oh my goodness, he's over there digging. Dog's digging. Who knew? Yeah, right on. Ribs and ice cream, so much for a diet, man. Right on. I used to be making X, but I'm also used to spending X divided by 2 or X. Hey, you're going to make a big old mess, and I'm the one's got to pick it up. I love dogs. Papa's up there just snuggle with Chloe, I guarantee. And Finney's down here as a little puppy. He is. I believe fearing the loss of income and start withdrawing from savings will be less scary for me. Yeah, well, right on, man. That's the thing. If you're not spending the money that's coming in, it's easy. If you don't have debt, that's the whole thing. It's almost like the Bible has lots of wonderful thoughts in the Bible. Who would have thought? It's like we can learn from the Bible. That's crazy talk. All right. On December 7, 1941, a date which will live in infamy, 353 Japanese. Yep. Okay, well, that's true. I turned 6 years old. Notice my Social Security statement format has changed. Now it just totals my early earnings by decades. I think that's true, Harry. I think once you hit 60, you no longer see it in terms of your annual earnings. So you definitely you better keep your one from previous years for sure. Yeah, that's interesting. Racism goes both ways. That's racist, Fabio, to say that. All right. Thanks, Josh, for your financial advice. Retire next year. I'm sure I'm on the right track. Right on, Clay. That's freaking awesome, brother. Stay and fight. Make the HR departments justify their DEI crap. It doesn't hold the scrutiny. Yeah, I mean, look, I get that, but you also got a life to lead, Mark. You know what I'm saying? I mean, my goodness. I mean, you can. I don't know. The battlefield was laid for freaking decades. And this is why this is the thing about relying on the Republican Party is just so stupid. Look, I'm Republican. I'll vote for the stupid rhinos, or not rhinos, the elephants. But I mean, we are the Democrats are freaking first and goal at the 1 foot line. You know what I'm saying? And they got Tom Brady behind center. And we're not even on the bus going to the stadium. We're still in the hotel. I mean, this is the issue is that we're not even in the field. The field has been laid, and we're so late to the game. It's kind of like we got to choose our own field now, if that makes sense. Let me share with you a story I think you guys will like here. Hold on just a second. This is heartwarming. And this is where independent media, like true independent media, man, I'm telling you, this is a huge win for the good guys. And it's not over yet, but I share this guy a lot, my man Turtle Boy, because he's doing freaking. This is how now. Let me show you what I want to talk about. Finney, you big old knucklehead. All right, so I want to share with you guys something. Here's a lady, this clown, Monica Cannon Grant, and she's just one of the biggest racist, just piece of crap you'll ever see. It's just not a good person. She's a racist. not just against whites. She's a racist against Asians. She's a racist against blacks who date whites. Anyone who doesn't agree with her, she just hates. It's just she's not a good person. Somehow, the media in Boston love her, and the reason the media in Boston love her because there's a rich white girl who's a reporter for the local, PBS station who just loves the idea of a black lady saying, "Yay, little white girl, you're so down." There's a rich white girl who's a reporter who never dug a ditch in her life, and she loves having this black lady, say you're the best. And so she follows this woman wherever she says, wherever she does. Anyway, they're really it's a disgusting group of people here, and what they're doing to these innocent white kids in this town called Hopkinville or whatever it is, and it's just evil stuff. Anyway, she was going to have 55,000 people protest what was a suicide by a distraught young black lady who was in a relationship with a same-sex girl, and in a relationship they broke up. And she was heartbroken, this young lady. It's horrible. She ends up killing herself. And the reason she ended up killing herself because her mom was nowhere to be found. Her mom was gone. Her mom was in Chicago. And no one gave two craps about this girl. No one did until she died. It's just the whole thing. It just will freaking infuriate you because it's so evil. The mom had nothing to do with the girl. The mom had been charged with assaulting this girl not that long previous. And the whole thing's nuts. It's just evil. And even when the girl who broke up with her, the white girl who broke up with her, was so concerned for this girl's health because she was acting like just bad. The girl said to the guidance counselor, "Can you help this lady? Because she's in a bad place. Her mom's not there. Her aunt's there's no one there to talk to, and she's not in a good place, and she's going to hurt herself." And that night she did. She killed herself. Horrible stuff. And the victim, of course, is this young lady, not is the girl who killed herself because there's no one there. She had no parents to care for her. The only time the parents care is when they think they can make money off the town and start a racial war. Anyway, so this lady, Monica Cannon Grant, had everyone because they said, "Oh my goodness, she's Black Lives Matter. She's going to scare us," because white people are trained to be scared of freaking crazy people like this. Anyway, my man Aiden at Turtle Boys, he started reporting on this. And I've been following this because I love Turtle Boys reporting because he doesn't pull punches, but he's also not an Alex Jones type reporter it's not how some of these guys are very dramatic and they report stuff. You're like, kind of like the Gateway Pundit. I like Gateway Pundit, but some of these guys are way over the top. You're like, I don't know if I trust what they say because they don't do their due diligence. They're looking more for clicks than due diligence. And I don't know if I don't like that, if that makes sense. Not Turtle Boy, not Aiden. He says, look, if I'm going to report something, I want to know the facts, which I like because I don't want to be out there in a string saying, and then it turns out you're full of crap. Anyway, so look at this. Here is her leading Black Lives Matter in Boston. Here she is leading Black Lives Matter in Boston. She thought she was going to do the same thing in this town. Aiden reports on the true story of Michaela Miller's death by suicide and how there was no one there to help her. The only person who's there to help her is the same white girl. These racist scumbags are trying to, literally, they're trying to get killed. There's no other way around that. And what happened was when the truth came out, this is what we ended up with right here. Nobody. She thought she was going to have 55,000 people. She had 55. And the vast majority of them were reporters. It's freaking awesome. That's the kind of stuff, man. Look. And this is what they had right there. And I guess the guy from the Melvins put down his guitar. He showed up at the rally. Anyway, the media was there and a couple clowns were there, and that was it because of good, solid reporting. Why do I say that? Because this is how you got to fight back, man. Now you can do it on the corporate area. And I'll put a link to the show notes on the story. This is a win for the good guys, and I think Aiden will be going on live tonight, and I'm looking forward to hearing that. It's a win for the good guys because finally someone stuck up against the friggin' BLM clowns and said, "No, we're not on our watch. We're not going to let you be racist." With make-up stories that are indicting innocent white kids, but also disrespecting the memory of an innocent black girl who had no one to help her. It's insane. And this is where we're headed to. And this racist, critical race theory, corporate racist crap is heading that way. And you can fight that for sure, or you can separate yourself and say, I'm going to be like Aiden Turtle Boy and say, I'm going to do it on my own because no one can cancel me. Now, look, Aiden, you can't even give him money on PayPal because PayPal's canceled him. YouTube hasn't, they cancel him, not cancel him. Facebook is, he keeps dancing around that. But this is if you're going to spit the truth, you're going to be canceled. Is all there is to it. And what happens is some of these guys say, okay, but the only way to spit the truth is to be separate from corporate America, where I could tell the truth on my own terms. And at some point you'll win, but it's going to be a tough road to fight. Some people should stay back and fight. I get that. I hear this all the time. I'm going to stay in California and fight the beast. I'm like, you've lost that. I'm going to stay in Seattle and fight the beast. Those days are gone. You've lost. I'm going to stay in, I don't know, freaking Fulton County and fight the beast. And I mean, the minute my kids are out of school, I'm hoping we can last 5 more years here. I'm getting the hell out of Dodge because this county is freaking nuts. And you got to find a county of people who support your values and go there. You got to find a place of employment of people who support your values and go there. Same group preference, man. Same group preference. And I don't think you should do it on skin color. I think you should do it on the way you see the world. Start with Christians for sure, but certainly go to people who see the world in an individualistic perspective. Anyway. Hey, by the way, my man here for some reason is big on the Japanese stuff here today. My granddad's brother took out a Japanese battleship in World War II. By the way, Deichmann, is it Carl? Dick Deichmann took out a Japanese battleship. While we're yapping here, I'll show you that. Hold on just a second. Dick Deichmann. 1 second. Deichmann. Japanese. I forgot the name of the boat. Battleship. I forgot the name of the boat. Yeah, right here. Chikuma. Chikuma is what it was called. So I'm going to read you this right here. This is my granddad's brother. My granddad was a captain in the Navy, a test pilot. He flew with John Glenn, as a matter of fact. He test piloted with John Glenn, or is it Yeager? John Glenn. Chuck Yeager or John Glenn? I think it's John Glenn. Anyway, so here's the Chikuma was the second last vessel, the Tonei class of heavy cruisers in the Imperial Japanese Navy. All right, so let's go down and find my. It was designed for long-range scouting missions and had a large seaplane capacity. She was extensively employed during World War II in conjunction with an aircraft carrier task force. All right, so let's read about your old buddy Josh's great uncle, I guess, or great uncle. Yeah. On 7th December 1941, Chikuma each launched some kind of float plane for a final weather reconnaissance over Oahu, whatever that place is in Hawaii. All right, but check this out. So let's go to find my dad, my Deitch, right there. On 25 October, during the Battle of Samar, Chikuma engaged U.S. escort aircraft carriers, helping to sink USS Gambier Bay, but came under fire from American destroyer USS Heermann in heavy air attack. Chikuma inflicted severe damage on Heermann, but was soon attacked by the good guys, the 4 TBM Avenger torpedo bombers. Richard Deichmann, yeah, hey, for the good guys, take that, Obama. Richard Deichmann, flying from USS Manila Bay, succeeded in hitting her stern port quarter with Mark 13 torpedo that severed her stern and disabled her port screw and rudder. Chikuma's speed dropped to 18 knots, then 9 knots, but more seriously, she became unsteerable. At 11:05, she was attacked by 5 TBMs from USS Kitkun. She was hit port side midships, and whatever that means, by 2 torpedoes. Her engine room flooded. At 1400, a composite squadron of ships from U.S. whatever that is, led by Joseph Cady, dropped more torpedoes, which hit to Chikuma port side. And Cady was later awarded the Navy Cross for his action. What? Why is my uncle, great uncle, awarded the Navy Cross, man? What's up with that? You know who gets the awards? You know who gets the awards in the military? Like, this is going to sound mean. It's oops, getting dark out here. I'll have to go upstairs. The people get the awards of the military, the people who got let's just put it this way, the people who know people can pull strings. I'm not saying they don't deserve it. I'm just saying. I remember when I was in the Army, you get the low-level grunts who get the Army Achievement Medals, AAM, and the guys who worked for battalion would get the ARCOMs, Army Commendation Medal. So it's like if you if you work for the powers that be, you got the ARCOMs. If you're just a grunt like I was, you'd get an AAM. And AAM is fine, nothing wrong with that. But there's always the people who in the know with the powers that be who got the ARCOMs, and always the if you were even awarded, it never was the same. Let's put it that way. Let me change locale so you can see my beautiful shining pearly yellows here. Hold on just a second. Come on, boys. Hold on. It's funny actually because I knew some guys who got ARCOMs and they work for a battalion. And I knew a good friend of mine. He said, yeah, he's kind of embarrassed. He got a bunch of ARCOMs. I said, man, I got 2 AAMs. And I said he knew it. He knew it. We just would laugh together because I said, yeah, it's just politics. All right, hold on a second. Let me get over here. Come on, boys. You're the next contestant on The Price is Right. You got Pablo? Oh, there you are. Okay, hold on just a second. Welcome to Shay Scanlon, everybody. You've been here before. I'm going to get dark. Hear me talk about my family's exploits? All right. Coming in, Big Bear. Come on. All right. Good boy. Yeah, good doggy. Good dog. All right. My Kansas City Royal shirt I got in Kidder, Missouri. No. Where is it in Missouri when I got that? It's right outside Kidder, Missouri. I forgot the name of the town, though. All right. All right. So let's see what we got here. We'll start the questions. If I missed you, I apologize. I'm a huge fan of Japan. Big fan first time. Why would I say anything January 6th? Stupid. Lewis. Come on, man. That's all you got? All right. So let's see what... Wife and I have 5 years until the house is paid off and we retire. Build up a dividend portfolio, just growth in the brokerage until then. Are they mutually exclusive? I don't get it. I'm not sure why you build up a dividend portfolio or just growth in the brokerage. I'm not sure. Hey, Steve, what's going on, amigo? It's always Finney, never Pablo, face it. Yeah, man. Right on, Alan. You got it, brother. I'm retired from big oil last fall. The oil majors are all in on D. Yeah, I know. It's sad. The oil people, they think it's no different than the oil people thrown into green energy is no different than white saying some of my best friends are black to prove you're not racist. It's stupid. It's the stupidest thing. I don't know why they can't come out and say they're proud of fossil fuels. I don't know. I mean, I know why. It's because they got no freaking guts. But I'm telling you, man, it's no different than, like I just said. I'm not racist. Some of my best friends are black. It's the same freaking concept. We are also into green energy. Do you think you're going to get any credos for that, fools? It drives me up the wall. Home was paid off, no debt. Should I quit my undesirable job and join my lucrative garage hobby as a mower repair? Hell yeah, dude. I don't know what your spending is. Something tells me if you're repairing mowers, you're probably not a spendthrift there, Tom Dobie. Hell yeah. And if you got a friggin' business website, put a link down here, man. Hell yeah. Everyone, that's fantastic. Yes, you should. Now, don't just do it because I said off the cuff. Do it, Tom Dobie. But my goodness, you got no debt. House is paid off. You're repairing small engines. Psh, I've been doing that 2 seconds flat. So these people I was talking to today, I'm like, man, I was like, man, they want to go to Spain or they want to go to Latin America, someplace like that. And so the husband's always worried about the investments. The wife is always worried about health insurance. Which, hey, I'm trying to do a live stream here, big boys. I'm trying to do a live stream. And I said, do you not understand? Now, here's what happened. They sold their house in California for a freaking nice chunk of change. It's all sitting in cash. I was telling the wife, I said, lady, do you not know what happens? Your Your Obamacare premiums are basically nothing, because you're living off cash. Cash is a non-taxable entity because it's already been taxed, i.e., the only tax you pay on cash is the tiny amount of interest you make on sitting in the bank. I said, so basically you're going to have no Obamacare premiums. I mean, it might be a couple $100, but I even doubt that. I said, holy crap. She goes, I don't know if we can afford health insurance. I said, holy crap, sister. Yes, you can. You get all this money sitting in cash. You're going to look like you're a freaking pauper on paper. If only someone should do a video on be poor on paper. Oh, my goodness. An Air Force reserves had to go critical race training. That's freaking nuts, man. Yeah. In my town last night, people were posting for a Palestinian state. They had signs and flags. I'm in California. Yeah, it's weird how there's literally peace in the Middle East when Trump was in office. Crazy. It's almost like Biden is he likes the conflict. And they do, man. Where was I reading today? It's just some evil crap with it. I was like, man, what the hell is it's like just out of the woodwork. We're back to this Palestinian-Israeli conflict. It's just the more things change, the more they stay the same. Yeah, CRT. Well, and that's what I think is happening here. Oh, that's obviously racist. You go to GG. That's racist right there. That your avatar. And the Republicans were smart. They'd be running on this left and right, but they just, they say no. But they got to run on it without any kind of. They do not need to do the equivalent of my best friends are black. They don't want CRT. They need to do it on the fact that CRT is racist. And we're not tolerating racism in schools. That's it. That's what you got to run on. You run on that, and don't do it the half-ass ways Republicans typically do. Just do it. Say, no, this is evil. We're not putting up with it. If you elect us, the first thing we're going to do is get rid of it. And all you got to do is read from Robin DiAngelo and that crazy Abraham X. Kendi guy. Just read them and say, I mean, like Charlton Heston did when Ice-T, was it Ice-T or NWA? Charlton Heston went before the Warner Brothers and read them the lyrics from one of those. Is NWA or Ice-T? I forgot which band did the anti-police song. They probably both did, but anyway. And he said, "Are you acceptable with this? I just want the shareholders to know. Are you okay with this? And if you are, that's fine. We've had our chance to say it, but." That's what the Republicans need to do. Say, are you okay with this craziness that your daughters and sons who happen to be Paleys are essentially colonizers? Are you okay with that? And no one's okay with that, man. Van Morrison, I heard he's some of Van Morrison's stuff was good. Some bored the hell out of me, but I've heard that Van Morrison has kind of gone anti-woke in some regard. That's good. Whoa. Pantera. Yeah, I still love Jenny May. Big fan of Jenny May, David. Absolutely. Rochester, New York. Oh, yeah. Gordon, love my taste in music. Man, I love all kinds of music. I don't like modern hip hop. Horrible. But I loved. I always love like black music from Detroit Motown. Always love old blues. Funk. You know what I'm saying? And fusion, not so. I've always loved that stuff. And I loved rap music in the 80s, going into the 90s, and then DC they had go-go. Whatever the hell happened in the 2000, I'm like, dude, this is horrible. I can't take any of that crap. And it's weird that all these whites are doing it now. Strange. Or not now, but I can't stand it. Man, but I've always loved all kinds of music, from metal. A lot of country bores me, but there's country, when it hits you hard. But there's a lot of filler crap out there. A lot of that stuff is horrible, but some country music is fantastic. Always liked Southern rock, Molly Hatchet, obviously freaking Leonard Skinner, the guy Gary Rosington owns the land right back there. Gary Rosington from Leonard Skinner, Marshall Tucker Band. Did I already say them? Yeah, I did say Marshall Tucker. But I tell you though, the first time I put Black Sabbath on, Masters of Reality, the first time I put Black Sabbath on, I must have been 9 years old, 10 years old. Put it on a turntable. I mean, it was like, I've always been interested. Why are some people into this kind of music and other people are not? Man, I will never forget hearing that for the first time. It was like, I can literally remember where I was. I just like, it was like the first time I ever heard Sweet, because the Masters of Reality starts with Sweetleaf. Bow now, bow now, bow now. I'm just like, man, it was, and then I heard Into the Void, still probably the best metalish song of all time. Oh my goodness. It's just, my, Kurt's in Oregon. Yep. Oregon's nuts, man. Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Right on. We lived in Haddonfield, Jose Cuervo. People in Wisconsin sick and tired of those fake mask requirements. Well, we'll see, man. Yeah, I think you're right. We are all vulnerable to being having our worst come out in us because of other people's differences, if that makes sense. What's my workout routine to stay in shape? Well, ideally, it's not to get sick. Oh, someone on here said, we have, I don't know if you follow the survival podcast guys. A guy named Jack Spurko does it. I like Jack a lot, actually. He's been a big influence on me. Sometimes I think he's a little over the top in claiming knowledge. I'm not quite sure. I think he has. And one of the things on his regimes on various health things, I'm like, he mentioned zinc a while back with vitamin D. And that's it to fight, the Wuhan sniffles. And I don't know. I'd never really worried that much about getting COVID. I just don't. It's like, okay, well, it's a severe flu, just like Fauci said back in February 2020 in the Journal of American Medical Association, JAMA. Yeah. Anyway, so I said, you get the flu, it sucks, man. I mean, you're down and out, it sucks, and it's a severe flu. So getting the flu is bad. Getting a severe flu is badder. And I don't want it, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to freaking live with fear. Anyway, and he would mention that. Anyway, so someone else had posted, and my wife had heard something about, with zinc, vitamin D, and I never really did. Then someone here said, make sure you're taking your zinc, your vitamin C, vitamin D or B. I think it was D or B. Vitamin B. I can't remember. Anyway, and so I started doing that. I forgot though, and in fact. Vitamin B, I did a video on the value of vitamin B. I'm telling you, man, look, don't listen to me. Read up on vitamin B. It was a vitamin B3 or a vitamin B1 or I can't remember, but read up, but take a vitamin B or look into taking a vitamin B, whatever it's called, all the inclusive one. A guy has spoken about vitamin B basically his whole life about, we have a vitamin B deficiency and it's bad. I forgot what it was. Anyway, long story short, definitely look at that. So I tell you, Ron, my workout routine is so simple, dude. I walk 3 miles on the treadmill. Literally, that's it. Walk 3 miles. So I walk a mile. I'll do 15 knuckle push-ups, and I just try to hold it. I do 7 pull-ups, and I do jumps on the jumping things. Dude, it's such a great workout. And I mean, you sweat like a pig, you feel great, and sometimes I'll throw some, deadlifts with lightweight. Sometimes I'll throw some overhead presses with an empty bar in there, maybe with 25s on each side. But it's, pull-ups are so good for your upper body. The jumps are so good for your lower body. You know what I'm saying? Obviously the push-ups too, but the jumps are good it's just fantastic. Man, I still am disappointed. I mean, there was a time in there I was getting strong, man. It is still kind of frustrating because I was able to do I was trying to get on the 1100 club, which was 315 on bench. I can't remember it was. A 405 on deadlift, 315 on bench, and 405 on a squat. And I wasn't near that. I was 275 on bench. I was probably probably I could get 330. I can't remember the exact amount. I'm trying to think. 3 plates and 2 tens. That's 305, 315, 325, 330. I think I was able to get 335, a couple reps on squats. I could never get over 3 plates on deadlifts because my forearms weren't strong enough. But I was getting there. And it felt freaking great. And I was getting there. And then I blew up my arm. And it just sucked, man. It's so frustrating because you have this goal and you're achieving it and you're getting there. And I'm 50 years old. I was 48 when I blew up my rotator cuff. But it's not like I was 48. I was putting 5 sets of 3 at 275 on the bench. I probably wasn't doing 5 sets of 3 at 315 on squats, but I could get a couple reps of 335. I was probably doing 5 sets of 3, 275, something like that on squats, maybe a little bit more. And then my deadlift was my weak point, just because my forearms aren't strong or strong enough to, and I didn't have wraps. But anyway, man, and then you just blow it. And so now I don't even want to do any hard heavy weight because it's not depressing. It makes you realize that, man, you were I don't know, you want to get this goal and you're getting there, you know what I'm saying? You're like, and then you're like, you'll never get that. I'll never get it back because I can't. I'm not dedicated enough anymore. Yeah, it sucks. I'm not gonna lie to you. But anyways, that's what I do. And I don't try to do hardly anyway. Now pull-ups are great because it's I'm 200. No, I'm 185, so I'm literally pulling up 185 pounds. Jumps are great. I'm literally jumping 185 pounds, and you jump. What was that? 3 inches, 3 feet high, or something like that. And then just doing these right here are good for your forearms. Really good. Knuckles push-ups. And hold it for a second. Hold on a second. You are one loud puppy. That's all I got to say about that. Go ahead. Go ahead, Loudy. Go ahead, Loud House. But those are, if you do, and you got to do your push-ups down. You don't put your hands up here. There's a guy on YouTube who showed me that. It's like, oh, that guy's great. Because, I can do a crap load of push-ups. But if you do it wrong form, it's like, why even bother? I mean, it's better than nothing, I grant you. But, do them down close to your boobs, if that makes sense. So you want to have your arms like right here. And you go, oh, man, it's tough. I'm telling you, you're going to be like, 15, that's it. Yeah, try it. Try it on your knuckles, down by your boobies, and hold it for like 2 seconds every time. It's tough. And it's funny because when I walk on the treadmill, I actually burn more calories than when I run. Anyway, little pulverizer. Did you know, Pulverizer, that Pink Floyd was voted the worst band ever? Don't say anything about Pink Floyd. Pulverizer will come find you. Masks go away in Massachusetts next Saturday? Because between now and Saturday, coronavirus could get you, Jake. You know what I'm saying? Because Saturday is a magic number. So the 29th of May is today's my brother's birthday, by the way. The 29th of May is when coronavirus says, yeah, we're gonna take a slumber. I tell you, I saw some people out there today. I still see even out here in Georgia wearing their masks. Not as many, but I'm like, even outside, I'm like, what the hell is going on, man? It's like the sad thing is a lot of these are kids. Young kids going for Alpharetta. I see some people walking around, young kids, with their masks on. Like, what happened to rebellious children? It's almost by design. All right. Let's see what we got here. All right. I do 50-50 knuckle and reel. Right on, man. That would be the next McEnroe for tennis. Dude, I don't know how to play it. Yeah, he just got to get out of California. That place. Actually, I want to read you guys. This is interesting. I'll do another video on this solely tomorrow, but this is pretty cool. All right. EV projections may go kaboom. The California warning signs may be verification about the drawback about EVs, electric vehicles. With a simple stroke of the pen, Governor Newsom, I'm predicting he will not be recalled, believes he has the power to change the lifestyles of all California residents and control the supply-demand balance for societies and the economy's transportation needs. Granted that half of all EVs in the entire country are in California. The troubling news is there may be warning signs about a bust in the growth of the EV growth bubble. The highly educated and financially well-off are currently the primary owners of electric vehicles. Shocking, and yet they're getting... Why are we subsidizing the rich? For the love of me. EV usage is slightly more than 5,000 miles a year. Is a reflection that the electric vehicle is a second vehicle and not the family workhorse vehicle. We talked about it before, right here. The growing percentage of EV owners that are switching back to ICEs is a message that may deflate EV growth projections. The larger and heavier gasoline-driven SUVs are currently half of the new car sales. That's in California. The larger and heavier gasoline-driven SUVs are currently half of the new car sales. And that doesn't include pickup trucks, because pickup trucks are always on top of the list and high selling things. Governor Newsom apparently did not read the required reading for the next EV owner. Drawbacks of electric vehicles before he announced on September 2020 an executive order to ban the sale of gas-powered electric vehicles by 2035. He's also directing the state to require that by 2035, all cars sold in truck be zero emission, because there's no emissions given when the car, this electric vehicle, is produced, is mined. No emissions. The rubber for the tires, no emissions in that. There's no emissions to generate the electricity in which to electrify your battery. No emissions. It's just this magic electricity tree in the sky. We just plug it in. Look at us. We're making people happy. Maybe the residents of the other 49 states that collectively make up the other 50% of the electric vehicles have read what California Newsom has not comprehended. Short range anxiety. Yep. Long charging times. Yep. Trip planning problems. You could put that in with short range anxiety. Mostly good for urban use. Yep. Not so environmentally friendly. Did you ever think about what it takes to make just one electric vehicle? I just want to know what it takes to make just one solar panel. How many solar panels does it take to make one from scratch? I just, the funniest thing, just answer me that. No one will, because they don't know. They don't know. Because there's infinite amount of number of you cannot, without fossil fuels, you cannot make a solar panel. You can't. So even if you had nothing but solar panels, you're not making a solar panel with no fossil fuels. It's not going to happen. It's crazy. Apparently, the process of making a big chunk of lithium-ion batteries from the exotic minerals and metals mined in foreign countries, as well as their disposal, is polluting since they're not recyclable. Weakest link to EV growth is the material supply chain. There may not be enough minerals and metals in the world to achieve the planned growth, but it doesn't matter. We just make up some fairy tale. Too expensive. There is a range of electric cars on sale currently on the market. The top model is going for well over $100,000. Although they're affordable models, electric vehicles still cost significantly more than models that run on fossil fuels. Repair difficulties. If you own an electric car, you can forget to go to your local shop for fixing it inexpensively. Regardless of the type and model, all electric vehicles require specific maintenance and service procedures. Too heavy. Some of the high-end models, the battery packs weigh in 1,000 pounds. Also, the car itself is 2.3 tons. Heavy vehicles mean more wear, more energy consumption, and more maintenance. Cold temperature issues, low top speeds. I just did read that someone said a new Tesla goes 0 to 60 in 1.2 seconds. That's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. the EVs off the gate are that's fantastic. I mean, if that's what you're into, the new Tesla can go 0 to 60 in like 1.2 seconds. I read that today. So that's pretty cool, but that's not what you're buying it for. Most regular everyday electric vehicles are quite slow. The top speed of the Gulf is limited below 100 miles per instance. I'm not sure that's that big of a deal. Highway driving consumption. All right, the advertised range that many manufacturers brag about is the average for city driving. However, the highway range is much smaller. Wow, I would have thought it'd be the opposite. Heavy load consumption. No matter how big your battery pack is, the energy consumption under a heavy load is excessive. Ugly, threatening existing economy models. Major car companies are not so sure. We know about Toyota. They're like, what the hell? Buyers still consider them a gimmick. I do. An EV cannot be the only car in your household. That's a big one right there. All right. Yeah, that's good stuff, man. We got this guy's an actual engineer. So you're not just listening to your old buddy Josh, you actually listen to an engineer. So anyway, by all means, you guys can continue. Not you guys, but where can I go to get this? You got, oops, hold on a sec. How do I get rid of my man's right there? Buy Tesla, but remember, you're not buying Tesla stock because it's a car company. That's just, I mean, literally, if you're buying Tesla stock because it's a car company, you got that's dumb. I'm sorry. You're buying Tesla stock because you feel that they're going to revolutionize the energy industry. So you're buying it essentially because it's an energy company. If that makes sense. If you're buying it just because manufactured cars, so that's just stupid. No, my man Douglas says, I'm 57 and can still do a handstand walk with hands. My one wrist is sore. Yeah, man. All about the warm up at the older age. God. Patty saw a guy riding a bicycle in the heat of day in Noonan wearing a mask. Did he have a helmet on, Patty? I bet he didn't. I work in Massachusetts. The mask mandate may never end if they have their 100%, Paul. Oh, boy. Al. By the way, for all you guys who are griping about California tags moving into Idaho and your neck of the woods in Texas or Georgia, remember, there were more Californians voted for Trump than Texans voted for Trump. Just keep that in the back of your mind. All right. So the Californians who are there, if they're leaving, they're taking their politics with them, and their politics generally be on the right side. They're not fleeing California because they're lefty. Now, my man, I don't know if he's on here that much anymore. I forgot his name. Bree. He moved from San Francisco to Lake Reno. That's up to Nevada. I said, you freaking, and I like Bri, but I said, man, and you took your politics with you. And he goes, yeah. I said, man, you voted for all that crap in San Francisco, then you left it for others to sweep it up. Now you're going to vote like a lefty in freaking Reno, Lake Tahoe, but Reno area. And, but a lot of people don't. A lot of Californians, they get the hell out of there because they're like, I'm sick of the lefty stuff. So, get your welcome wagon in. Welcome. If you find out that they're, flying AOC flags, well, maybe you turn a cold shoulder to them. But at the end of the day, a lot of Californians aren't. And I mean, I'm telling you, more Californians voted for Trump than people in Texas. Just keep that in mind. Well, he's just doing executive orders, Dougie B. Fresh. Yeah, Toyota had a right with hybrids. Yeah, I don't have any problem with hybrids. But actually, the guy from Toyota, the CEO, is like, dude, these electric vehicles, this is all fancy stuff. It's nuts. Yeah, the mask thing is it's so virtue signaling. You still got to wear it on planes, masks. Does they ever talk about getting rid of the stupid masks on planes? Because Chloe and I are going to be flying up to Maine here in a while, and I don't want to be wearing my stupid mask. Lisa. All right, there you go, Lisa. Nice watching the golf tournament. I know we're watching. My wife had a tennis on for a little bit someplace in Europe, and they still were social distancing and wearing masks outside in the hot weather. I said, "What are you fools doing, man?" I forgot what tennis thing it was, but it was crazy. I was like, "Why are you guys doing that? It's nuts." You're outside, it's hot, and you're still wearing masks and social distancing. Oh, man. Bill said he was driving down Bullsboro this morning. I don't know what that is. Many people are still wearing masks in their cars. As a legislator, but now Dems. There is a legislature in California, but now I don't get it. How dare you? Only double mask. Susan, I have a lot of stock in the EV markets, but I welcome the rejection. The BS on climate change pisses me off. Me too. Me too, Susan. I agree. Doing great in Florida. Have a governor who understands civil liberties. Yeah, I'm DeSantis. You guys been following Kwame Brown? Let me just bring up his channel. No, not for the. If you don't like cussing, you're not gonna like Kwame Brown. But this guy, I tell you, man, he's in Georgia too. I hope he runs for governor. So let's bring him up. He was the #1 draft choice. Kwame Brown. This guy's fantastic. So we're gonna go. And I'm sure YouTube's gonna get rid of his channel at some point. All right. Right here. Oh, right here. Kwame Brown. So follow this guy's channel if you're not. He's fantastic. Now, he cusses a lot, and he, it's all good though. So let me bring him up. We're not gonna watch it, but he's going after the woke media. It's fantastic, man.
This oceanside verbo is about to become the backdrop for an unforgettable vacation.
How do I get rid of that? There we go. So can we skip? There we go. So follow. Oops, let's stop that. So follow this guy's channel. I love it. I think I love his message. I love what he's doing, and he's kicking butt and taking names. He's taking on this woke media, but he's also doing it in a way that's is very uplifting too. As a matter of fact, I'm a big fan of what Kwame Brown is doing, and he lives in Georgia, in Brunswick, Georgia, which is near where I was just at, where my man Ron lives, and down by the Savannah area. Charles, it was down that way. Anyway, it's fantastic, man. It's uplifting. It really is. And I think there's a lot to be said about people uplifting other people as opposed to he's saying all these blacks keep hearing, the whites will say, bootstraps, and all these blacks will say, I don't have any boots in which to pull up my bootstraps. And he said, and so then they'll get mad, say, well, how dare you say lift myself up by the bootstraps? I don't have any boots. You never gave me boots, blah, blah, blah. So how, and what Kwame Brown is saying, well, then freaking lift yourself up by your without shoes. Like he was saying how he didn't have shoes growing up. He goes, all these guys keep doing is hustling the fact what they don't have, but they don't offer solutions. So essentially they're saying, well, because you don't have boots to lift yourself up by the bootstraps, you have no benefit at all. You can't do anything. You have to wait for government handouts. I'm butchering the way he was saying it, but it's so right. He's like, okay, you don't have boots. Well, you freaking have other ways to be successful. Do this, do that. Instead of telling people, yeah, you're right, you don't have boots, so you can't be successful. I just love it. I love hearing people say that because it's so freaking true. I was talking to this lady yesterday, an immigrant from Korea. Check this out, man. And this is what pisses me off too about this anti-Asian crap on CRT. It's not just anti-white. It's a lot of these people are anti-Asian too now. It's she came over here when she was 8 years old. Her mom busted her butt. They fled Korea. Her mom busted her butt, working like 2 or 3 jobs. Started some kind of restaurant. Was it a restaurant? I can't remember. They lived just a typical what you always hear about these Asian immigrants. Worked 2 or 3 jobs, didn't have a freaking pot to pee in, couldn't speak the language. You see what I'm saying? And I'm just sitting there thinking, and some people are going to say, this woman, now she's a graduate of college, but she shouldn't go to Harvard because she has a preference over some other person who's not Asian or white, if that makes sense. And you're like, well, that doesn't make any sense. She's able to come here. Not only does she not have boots on her feet, she can't even speak the language. And all these freaking grifters are saying, oh yeah, you can't succeed here if you're young and black or Hispanic because they're all out to get you. You're like, wait a second, it's so freaking frustrating. And there's tons of examples of the exact opposite happening. And not to say that is not to help people who need to hear the positive thing most. Which is why it's so shameful what they did to Ben Carson. Ben Carson, I literally the smartest guy on campus, any campus. I don't care what campus it is. No one's smarter than Ben Carson. And where he came up, and they just, the way they did that guy is evil, man. It's evil. And I don't understand it. I kind of do, frankly. I think there's people who pay a lot of money to the grifters to keep grifting. Let's just put it that way. I do think there's people, pulling the purse strings of the Jesse Jacksons and Al Sharptons of the world because they like the idea of confrontation. And I do think, actually, the more I'm literally, I do think there's a group of cabal people who like confrontation, because you keep the people to focus on their skin color, their religion, or ethnicity. You can stop them focusing on the real evil that exists. World Economic Forum types, if you know what I'm saying. And it's bad, man. It's bad. And so what happens is you get these grifters, these Al Sharptons, and we get our own side does too. You know what I'm saying? We got tons of Republican grifters, same thing. And you're sitting there saying, man, we're all fall for it. We say, yeah, our side is getting screwed by those guys, and there's guys getting screwed by these guys, and we go after each other while these guys are up here still pulling off our chains, man. It's freaking nuts. But it sucks to me more than anything, because America is, you might not have boots to pull yourself up the bootstraps, but not to be told you can still succeed is freaking evil. And only to be told the only way you can succeed is by being a gangbanger or by all that crap is freaking evil, man. And I just, any guy who can speak the truth about you can succeed in this country more so than any other country in the history of mankind. If you can come here as a 4'10" Korean lady who can't speak the language, maybe a freaking 90 pounds wet, and this lady didn't become a millionaire, that's for sure, but she raised a daughter who's doing quite well for herself. Anyone can. And I just, it's because she had a hand up because she's Asian. Okay, yeah, no one ever said that in the history of mankind until now because of critical race theory. Not one person ever said to Vietnamese boat people, they had a hand up because they're Asian. Now, no one ever said that. Never happened. No one ever said that. You know what I'm saying? But yet, forget the stupid white privilege stuff, because that's just dumb. Come to white privilege, you get banned. I hate it. I'm personally offended by people who say, because I'm a paleo, I have white privilege. It's offensive to me, and it's just so damn silly. It's not even worth debating, because those people are gone. It's actually even it's worse when black people say it's annoying, because I'm like, but yeah, it's one thing. But when white people say that, it pisses me off, because those people do have privilege, frankly. You know what I'm saying? But trust me, there are plenty of black people got privilege too, man, in this country. Wealthy privilege. It's classist privilege. Now, always remember, I'll never forget, cleaning the carpets of a very wealthy black guy in McLean, Virginia. And he's a good guy, and his wife was white. And his wife was very, very nice, very Christian, gave me a big fat tip. And their two daughters, I'll never forget, one had a Tupac Shakur poster in her house, in her room. I just remember sitting there thinking, I'll never forget this, thinking, these people are so privileged, you know what I'm saying? And nice people. I mean, the wife was nice. I'm not going to say who this guy's name was, but let's just put it this way. He's a righteous dude. But I'll never forget thinking that his kids can get advancement over my own kids simply because, his daughters will have very light skin, but they can still claim they're black because their dad, if that makes sense. I'll never forget. I'm literally cleaning their carpets. I'll never forget that. And then I remember going to a lady in D.C., in Southeast D.C., one of the nicest old black lady, it's just sweet as can be. I never forget, and this is in Anacostia, pulling up, and had a park. We had these vans, these white pickup vans, these white vans where you had all your. It's chem dry, so chem dry, you buffed it out, and people, it's not Stanley steamer. It's a different kind of methodology, but it's a kind of a pain hauling that crap up, because you had this big buffer and you had all the gear and stuff. And so her house was like right here, and it's not really, it's kind of like row houses, but not quite row houses, but it's like up a little bit, and you had to walk up these steps to get there, and you had to kind of walk through some folks that were up to no good, if that made sense. So you couldn't park right in front of her house. I had to park like down the street, and I had to pull my gear out, and there's no white people around, and it's just me. And I had to walk through, some people just kind of milling about, and no one had to cost me. I think it was the daytime. It wasn't like, oh my goodness, my life was at risk. It wasn't. It was not that big a deal. But you can still, what I'm saying. And I remember the sweetest sweetest old lady, tiny little lady, again, probably 4'10", a buck 10 wet, and opens the door, but the whole thing was grated with bars. And I asked her how long she'd been there. And she goes, so I've been here almost my whole life, son. And I just never forget talking. This is back in the 90s. She's probably 85 years old. She'd probably been there during the epitome of Jim Crow and all that crap. And, she'd probably seen all kinds of stuff in her life. You know what I'm saying? And but she had these bars on her windows and on her doors because South DC was violent. And I said, I guarantee, and I didn't say this, but I guarantee in the 60s, and 50s, under the epitome of segregation, she didn't have bars. You know what I'm saying? It's just sad. And it's just sad. And the way she opened the door was kind of like, come on. And it wasn't like, I don't know, it's sad. I'll never forget that. And she didn't have any money. And so she couldn't tip me. She gave me cookies. And, so we're going to use her as the example of black people being held back. And she was. I think about how many freaking white people treated her like crap. You know what I'm saying? Just because it breaks my heart. And yet there she was, Christian as all can be. I'm just freaking strong. And just such a wonderful lady. And I'm sure she's passed on now, but I know she's with Jesus. And I'm just sitting there thinking, how is it that her legacy is used to benefit, these girls who are born of nothing but privilege at the expense of other white people? And I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. The whole thing is just bad. It's just evil. We shouldn't be doing this stuff. No one benefits from this. No one does, except for grifters. And people want to keep us at odds. That's it, man. Just really kill me. It was right there. Two peas in a pod, man. Two peas in a pod. Two completely different dramas, but one gets the benefit of what this woman went through, even though this person's own self, because he came from wealth and his kids come from wealth, and somehow they're going to benefit of it. It's just sad. And you got to be careful, because it can make you angry. You know what I'm saying? It can. And you can't let it get you angry, which is why you got to watch people who uplift you, because, anger is just Satan's way of saying, yeah, you're right. You have a reason to be angry. And come on over here. Come on over here. And you don't want to follow that crap, because it can take you in a bad place. And that is a place you might not recover from, for sure. Which is why you got to watch uplifting people. All right. Anyway. All right. So we're just yapping here. I live in a very Hispanic area, said Dougie B. Fresh. I do 100%, man. But let's not pretend that there isn't some bad Hispanics. MS-13 is insanely bad. You know what I'm saying? So, and there are illegal immigrants who are ruining neighborhoods. I mean, let's not pretend that too. So there's lots of, it's kind of like, we just got to make sure we understand that just because there are certain groups of people who are wonderful, not all are wonderful. And the same thing with whites. There are tons of horrible white neighborhoods of nothing but meth heads. You know what I'm saying? It's just, and that's what makes the individual person. That's why we look at the individual, not the group, because the individual is all that matters. Jesus didn't die for the group, man. He died for the individual. He did not die for white people or Hispanic people. He died for Josh and Dougie B. Fresh. And Kwame Brown, you know what I'm saying? And this freaking Korean woman. He died for all of them individually. He doesn't care about that. That's stupid. He cares about this and this right here. Oh, man, I don't know how people don't love Jesus. I just sit there, I say, and I'm not, so much right here. Oh, my goodness, there's so much good points in there. I just don't get it. Like, people, they have this need to, like, belittle Jesus Christ. I don't understand it. I don't understand why. I mean, look, you don't have to believe them, but why would you want to belittle? Look, you don't have to believe that Jesus is the Son of God. You can believe he's a myth. I don't care, but why even belittle? Even if he was a myth, why not say, yeah, I don't believe that he existed, but I believe the ore of Jesus is wonderful. We should all strive for. I mean, crazy. Yep. Everyone is a judge of character. Yeah, man. Yeah, and I know, dude, that's Maine, New Hampshire. It's northern New England is going that way. It's true. It's true. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, man. Oh, how dare you, Antonio? No such thing as white privilege. That's white privilege just saying there's no such thing as white privilege. Don't you dare say that. Oh, man. Yep. I'm friends with a couple in a Chinese restaurant, and they work their tails off morning and night. Such good people. Their grandpa seems grouchy, but nice, probably because he worked his ass off too. You know what I'm saying? The grandpa, a grouchy grandpa. Never seen that coming, Eric. Oh man, yeah, I don't believe that. Hard work is white. No, it's not, dude. I see what you're saying. He's saying hard. Okay, gotcha. I thought you're saying hard work is white. No, I see what you're saying. I missed the previous that. Yes, that is what idiots will tell you. Oh, learning to speak, learning to read, learning numbers, learning math. Going back to Kwame Brown, I was stunned. And maybe this is my own prejudice. He said, you go down the Chamber of Commerce, you set up yourself an appointment with a score. Y'all know what score is? Of retired executives, the service corps of retired executives, SCORE. Kwame Brown, he was a #1 draft pick out of high school, had 8 brothers and sisters. 4 of his brothers went to jail. Never went and met his dad. Yeah, the whole thing. Here is Kwame Brown telling people to go down to your local Chamber of Commerce, get an appointment with SCORE, and they will set you up a business plan to do what you. I was, but you don't have any boots to pull yourself up with the bootstraps. I was so freaking, man. That was the best thing I've ever heard anybody say in my life. Not literally, but I was sitting there thinking, here's this guy just saying to people, don't listen to these fools telling you can't do it. Go down to Chamber of Commerce, set yourself up an appointment with SCORE. My wife used to work for SBDC, the Small Business Development Center. They do the same thing, SBDC, through the SBA. There's a James Madison SBDC. They'd help people with business plans and, talk about financing and stuff. It's a fantastic place. Fantastic. Go downstairs, get yourself a business plan, and start the process figuring out how to make 2 and 2 work. It's fantastic. I don't like day trading. That's my thoughts. I appreciate $10. Give me 10 Bitcoin next time, Sam Whiskey. I'm not a day trader. Oh man. And Kwame Brown grows his own food. Exactly right. I don't know if any of y'all follow Owen Benjamin, but I call Kwame Brown the black Owen Benjamin. Owen Benjamin 6'8", Kwame Brown 6'9", and they grow their own food. They take on the mainstream media. They're all getting banned all over the place. Owen Benjamin got banned by Hollywood. Kwame Brown got banned by essentially the NBA. The haters hate him. But it's awesome. I love it. I love watching those guys. It's fantastic. Yeah, look at that. My only privilege is sitting here on my sun porch to listen to Bug Zapper get the black flies. Where you at, Lisa? You in Maine? Because we got lots of black flies in Maine. All flies matter. 100%, man. Yeah. Now they're bashing Tim Tebow for getting an opportunity as a tight end. So you guys are the people who said he should be a tight end. What you said he couldn't play quarterback. Still never understood that, man. Tim Tebow. The SEC is the most dominant college football conference. And look, I've always bashed the SEC. At this stage, you got to say the SEC reigns supreme. I hate to say that, but what we've seen, I think, the last 2 years is just I eat crow in that regard. Anyway, until we get a real playoff, so frustrating. Anyway, Tim Tebow dominates the SEC, and somehow the whole thing's nuts. Remember, Jacob Hester was a white running back at LSU. He was a tailback at LSU. Remember, SEC defense, superb. Jacob Hester ran for like 1,000 yards for LSU. You know what I'm saying? And then he was moved to what? Fullback with the Chargers. Yeah, Jacob Hester. Is that his name? Jacob Hester? Yeah, Jacob Hester. Chargers, fullback, not tailback, fullback. So whoa. You're saying Jacob Hester can run all up and down the SEC, but he can't run the NFL. Even though the SEC, some of those teams on the SEC can beat, the freaking lowly NFL teams. And what the hell is that? It just, oh my goodness. Bring back the white cornerbacks. I'm telling you, man, you want to see affirmative action. I want affirmative action for white cornerbacks and white tailbacks. It looks like the Christian McCaffrey is starting to maybe open up some eyes for that. But, the facts are there's not one white guy who can play cornerback in the NFL. Not one. I mean, how insane is that? Not one white guy in the whole country that can play cornerback in the NFL. Come on. Yeah, well, I don't get why these NFL guys don't take a risk. It's crazy. Like Bill Belichick with the white receivers. You know what I'm saying? But remember, before Belichick, there's Ed McCaffrey and Brandon Stokely from the Ravens. There's like the only two white receivers in all the NFL. And Stokely beat Jason Sehorn. That was the last time we've ever seen a white cornerback in the NFL. Stokely beat him in the Super Bowl, and that was it. That was the end of the no more white cornerbacks allowed, because he got beat by a white receiver. Anyway, so what? But and that was it. And then now there's wide receivers all over the place. It's great. And the same thing is like, okay, how come there's no white cornerbacks? Because they can't. You don't have their hips. Can't. Man, it's stupid. Dumb. And yet you don't see any. So now they're saying, Tim Tebow, you can't be a quarterback. You got to be a tight end. Just like they used to say the black quarterbacks. You can't be a quarterback. You got to be a wide receiver. That's crazy. I'm sitting there thinking, if I was a competitive guy, which these NFL guys are, I'm looking for the opportunity to exploit. Why would you not go after a white tailback or a freaking white cornerback? You don't have to pay him that much money. And that's crazy. I don't understand it. By the way, yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see. Hell of a lot better than a lot of quarterbacks out there, but yeah, I got lots coming up now, man. I got tons of flowers on my tomatoes, and I've been eating snap peas. I love snap peas. I didn't grow any last year. I've been eating snap peas every day. I need to grow more. I got my peaches are getting bigger. I can't wait. I've never had a peach straight from my own peach tree. I'm so stoked for that. My peppers looking good. A couple of things are disappointing. Snap peas are freaking kicking butt so far. That's all I've had so far. My blueberries are about to turn, so I'll probably bring those in to get them to turn, so before the freaking birds get them. What else I got going on out there? My tomatoes, yeah, like I said, I got tons of flowers. No tomatoes yet, though. A couple plums, small little plums, nothing yet. Carrots are lots of green there, but nothing yet. Still, I'm missing something else. I might look at one potato plant. I don't think that's ready yet. It's only been 2 months, but maybe I'll try it. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, man. There's nothing happening. Like I was talking to a guy today or 2 days ago, something like that, and he said he wants to be out. What he can do to retire, just be out in his shop, work on cars. That's his happy place. I said, that's my miserable place. I just don't have the mechanical mind. I don't. It makes me miserable even thinking about it. My happy place is being in the garden. It's just, oh, man, it just makes you feel so good. I love being out in the garden. There's something about it. It's just, I don't know what it is. It's like God speaking to me. I don't know. Maybe when you're working on cars and you're able to do all that and it works, it's like God telling you that is your creation, if that makes sense. I don't know. It's like it's something surreal about going. You take this tiny little seed, you put in the ground, 2-3 months later, you got food from it. It's just, it's insane to me. It's been happening since the dawn of existence, but it's just nuts to me. And it tastes so good. I got tons of kale coming up, by the way. I've been eating kale like crazy. All right. No, Tina, I don't think we're supposed to be getting cicadas down here. I think they're more in the mid-Atlantic, actually. Zone 5. See, I'm in zone 7B. Yeah, I was trying to watch some NBA the other night. I can't watch it. It's weird. I used to love the NBA, in the 80s and early 90s, I cannot tell you how much I love basketball. I love basketball. And I just watch the NBA now. I'm just like, did you know like 45% of all shots are beyond the three? I can't take it, man. Like, this is just boring. Boring. It's weird. I mean, I don't know what the hell happened. I'm just like, I don't enjoy it in the least. Yeah, man, I saw that. The Bees, Bees going to finish the Caps, yeah. Well, okay, it's only 3-1. Are they playing tonight? Yeah, I don't. Did I watch any football? I just literally don't care. I mean, the funny thing was, I was listening to Young Ripa. I don't know if y'all watch him out of Texas. I like him. I don't just like conservative black guys on YouTube. I got tons of guys. But he's just a guy that caught my attention with a video he did that the NBA is just dead. And he said he made a great point. Young Ripa did, Eric July. He said the funny thing is, I don't think these people know is once you are without it for like a year, you realize you like never go back. And so his point being is the NBA, when they went woke, they don't realize that not only did you turn people off, that you can't just turn them back on by not being woke anymore, but once they remove themselves from your product, they learn to forget about your product. And that's I tell you, man, that's exactly me with the NFL. That's exactly me with baseball. It's exactly me with basketball. And other than watching the scoreboard on the Bruins, and if the Bruins making the Stanley Cup, I'll watch. Other than that, I just don't care. It's like I just don't care. And you're not going to find a bigger sports fan than me ever in the history of mankind, but not anymore. Because once that crap started happening, I just don't care. It's like literally, I just don't care. And you can get all your anti-woke and say we want you back. We will whatever. I'm like, it's over. Our relationship's done, man. I literally, it matters not. It's kind of like, it's like, I don't care about the WNBA. I literally don't know the teams. You could say the WNBA, Phoenix Mercury, or whatever they're called, win. I literally could care less. It matters not. Does someone say, did you hear the latest in the English Premier League term? I said, no, I don't care. And I will, it's the same thing in the NBA. Did you hear about the latest in, what's his name, freaking Steph Curry? No, I don't care. And I'm never going to care again. It's weird. It's awesome, which gives you a whole lot of time to do other stuff. And I follow Clay Travis, so I get to some ideas on what's happening in the world of sports. But I literally could care less. It'd be cool to see Tim Tebow get a couple of touchdowns and make the Jaguars. But, other than that, I won't watch. It's weird, man. It's Eric July was right on. I said, once you leave and you're gone for a while, you don't just wake up one day and say, I really need to get my fix back on the NBA. It doesn't work like that. You're not coming back. I was 100%. Actually, I will say this. I used to listen to Rush Limbaugh, RIP, religiously. But once I found YouTube and found all kinds of, I never went back to Rush Limbaugh. I mean, every now and again listen to him, but it's just kind of like, I just found other things. And I'm sure people like with my own channel, I said, once they found I'm, crazy right winger, they said, I don't go back. I never will. I'm like, well, where you been? Because I've always been like this, but I get it. You know what I'm saying? I get it. But it's the same thing. It's like, once you find something else that occupies your time, you go away and then you might not ever go back. And when I went back to listen to Rush Limbaugh, I said, it kind of bores me. I'm kind of bored talking about, Trump, the Russian stuff. And it's like, I didn't want to hear about it anymore. It was interesting. And I love Rush. Rush was a huge influence on me. And I just, but after a while, I kind of grow out of it, I guess. I guess that's what it is. I kind of grew out with it. Yeah, I don't like the black and white sports guy. Those guys, I don't like them. I gotcha. I'm not a fan of that channel. Every now and again, I catch one of the things they talk about. I'm not a fan. I just, I don't know. They're. I don't like. They don't do anything for me. There's another guy. Obviously, I guess Outkick's the only place I get my sports. Seems like there's one other guy. I guess that's it, really. Yeah, Luka for the Mavericks. I can't. Here's Jeremy. I can't stand gardening. I can't stand gardening. That's what Jeremy says. Jeremy's just a young buck, everybody. Young buck up in Maine. Wait till he learns a couple of things. He'll be out there. He'll be out there. Oh, NASCAR, dude, no way. Oh, horrible, horrible, horrible. I will say, me too, Clay. And that was the Celtics, Lakers, the Sixers, Lakers, the Sixers, Celtics. Oh man, even back in the Bucks used to be pretty good. That was, yeah, me too. That was fantastic. That was just fun. So when I was in the Army, I had some friends, who took me to car racing up in upstate New York. And I said, there's no way I want to go see cars going around a track. And it was so flippin' fun. The reason it was so flippin' fun is because we got so drunk as skunks. And it was awesome. So we're watching these. It was just fun, man. I'm not going to lie. We went out. You just get drunk as a skunk and a monk and watch these cars go around. It was a blast. You know what I'm saying? Then they took me mud bogging. And I said, there's no way this is going to be fun. It was fun. Then a friend of mine who lived in St. Augustine in Florida, and when we got out, I went to go see him down there, and we went to go shine deer. Shine deer. You literally take a spotlight, you're out in the woods, and you shine deer. There's no way that's fun. It was fun. It was fun because we're all just getting drunk as just rednecks. It's crazy. It was awesome. Just out there, you're not doing anything, just getting drunk as a skunk, and you're shining deer. You're chasing around deer, whether you're on your pickup truck and you got this light and you're shining it. Believe it or not, that's fun. That's like crazy. There's no way going out shining deer is fun. I guess if you're in Iowa and you go cow tipping, that's fun if you're getting drunk, I suppose. But mud bogging, local, not even NASCAR, whatever the hell that local racing is, and then shining deer, it's fun. All right. All right. I'd like to see Pelosi. No, that'd be abuse. That'd be elderly abuse, man. Yes, that's what I used to love about sports. It used to be an escape. That's why they don't get it, Antonio. They don't get it. That's what the whole thing used to bring you together, where it could be an escape from all that crap. It's crazy. Yeah, they just jack threes. Whatever happened to pick and roll? It's crazy. Yes. Pro sports, 100% discretionary habit. Love the Hawks. Went to many games, 200 pop. Don't even watch highlights on the week. Yeah, just don't care. That's crazy. Yeah, man. I remember back in the 80s too. And just used to college basketball. Like I would know, man, we used to have like we'd quiz each other on the starting, even like the deep bench on all the teams in the ACC and the Big East and stuff in high school. You know what I'm saying? It's just, oh man. Yep. Yeah, I used to love it. I remember when Kirk Gibson, remember when he hit that home run against Dennis Eckersley? I remember that like it was yesterday. I remember when Wade Boggs crying on the bench when the freaking Mets won in Game 7, when freaking Calvin Schiraldi, he had a 3-0 lead going into the 4th in Game 7. This is after Game 6. Everyone remembers Game 6. The Sox still had a 3-0 lead going into the 4th, maybe in the 6th inning, and they Jesse Roscoe. Thanks, Josh, for nothing. Wow, what's wrong, Lewis? What kind of Lewis? Hey, I don't know who Lewis is, but what's wrong with old Lewis here, man? Oh no, dude, you want to kill somebody, make him watch a WNBA game? Absolutely. Yeah, young Rip is a libertarian. Yep, exactly. Yeah, that's my thing, Lisa. Where I'm going to retire is going to be a minor league baseball, minor league hockey, or college, like not big college, probably like a Division II or something like that. Yeah. Do I hear Michael Burry is short on long-term treasuries? Yeah. Don't care. There are some cicadas left is saying eat the cicadas. Yeah, exactly. There we go. So I'm in zone 5. We don't have anything in the ground yet. Wow, man. No, it's never too late, man. But you gotta get something in the ground. Nah, you're not too late. Zone 5 would be Minnesota, something like that. I'm an old olive green lady. I deserve the chance on the NFL, right? And he beat the Steelers in the playoffs in overtime. Back in the day, serving the 101st. Let's see. This guy says we might have to move from Eastern Tennessee. Our choices are Norfolk, Virginia, Minot, North Dakota, and Richmond, Indiana. Yeah, I'm not. Norfolk is busy. It's way too busy. I don't know anything about North Dakota. When I went through there going to South Dakota, it was Bismarck. I said, man, this is crazy. It's like nothing. Then there's a tiny little town. That's it. It's weird. It's like weird. It's like out in the range. And I don't know anything about Richmond, Indiana. Sorry, man. What else we got here? Massachusetts, zone 5, right on. Yeah, but one series does not make a Stanley Cup contender make. That's for doggone sure. Are they playing tonight? I don't think so. I can't stand losing. I can't stand losing you. Let's see, NHL.com. I know they're up 3-1 against the Caps, and I love the Caps too. But once the Caps won the Cup, that made it all worthwhile. Yeah, so that's okay. I don't think the Bees are playing tonight. No, they're playing tomorrow, I think. Yeah. All right. Cool. Yeah, right. No, I know Nancy Pelosi would drink me under the table because I don't drink. Exactly. Do I see Powell talking about CBDC coming soon? He was on news with a girl that's talking about they could give you stimulus money that expires. What the hell? Oh, boy. Yeah, exactly. Biden approves of Russia pipeline into Europe, but I tell you, man. And we say it's a big conspiracy. It's not even a conspiracy. Dude, why has Lewis got such a freaking... Why you got such a stick up your butt? Why you just... Just leave. I mean, why? I don't get it, man. Why? I mean, just take your stick up your butt elsewhere. This is a place for just people to be chill. I don't get it. You don't like my politics? Why would you like anything else I say? Get the hell out. Why do this to yourself? It's the weirdest thing, man. He throws this virtue signaling. God bless you and your family. I'm so righteous, says Lewis. I'm so righteous. I wish you'd keep your politics. I want you to answer my question. If you don't answer my question, you're not helping me. You got to rabble about your politics. Dude, we're just freaking here yapping with people, man. It's fun. It's just, North Dakota doesn't do anything for me, man. Grand Forks, nothing there but tumbleweeds and 50 below wind chills. Ugh. Bitcoin 50% off Walmart. Oh, man, that's funny. Oh, man, I used to love wrestling. Yeah, I used to, man, my brother and I loved Jimmy Superfly Snuka and all those guys in the 80s. It was fun, man. Yeah. Zones are for where you can grow your plants. Exactly right. Like the growing season and stuff. And you need to know your zone. You really do. Again, so if you're zone 7, am I 7? We're right on the board between 7A and 7B. That generally means we're not really going to be able to get citrus trees here. We're too far north. You really want to probably be in zone 8. You could probably get away with it deep in zone 7B, but we're kind of like on the cusp of 7A. It just gets too cold in the wintertime, essentially. Now you can bring your trees in. I don't want to do that. I'm too lazy. Or you can put them under a greenhouse, and people do that all the time. Just got to heat it. That's not that hard to do, but I'm not that. It's not one of those things I want to engage in terms of doing that on a regular basis. So I got some peach trees and plums, and they've survived over a couple of years. So I haven't got no fruit. I got one plum last year. I'm hoping to get another one more so this year. My peach trees got fruits on them already this year, so that's good. So this will be the first time that the peach. So they not only survived, it looks like they're doing well because I got tons of peaches that are growing as we sit here and speak. Oh yeah, Roddy Piper. Yep. Yeah, I think Lewis is drunk. I think you're right, Mike. Yeah, politics isn't everything, Lisa. 100%, man. That's a little bit before my time. Chief J. Strongbow, Bo. I'm not familiar with him. Any particular age to start rolling 401k to Roth? Ooh, I'd be hesitant to do that. A 30% tax bracket. Shake and bake. Big Papa Punch. Yeah, you're too young, man. I don't remember any of that. Big Papa Punch. Nah, Lou's doesn't want to open his mind. He's just he's just a narcissist. He wants it all to revolve around him. He's like, I don't know if he asked. I don't know. I imagine he probably asked a question. But man, it's not my first rodeo with people like this. I thought this was the funniest channel. You know what I'm saying? It's sad. Ooh, I do have a fig tree. Yes, I do, Carolyn. And I got tons of figs on that puppy already. Absolutely. In fact, I thought I killed that because I was trying to transplant it. And then I just put it on the other side of my yard here, and that sucker is booming. It's crazy. So yeah, I do have one. No, that's good stuff, man. Lefties, I know lefties can't live with them, and you shouldn't live with them. All right, my friends, think I can get out of here. Appreciate y'all being here, just shooting the crap with me. It's fun. Politics is pollution. Yeah, but I mean, Susan, that's true, but it doesn't matter if it is or not. It is. I mean, it's kind of like we can gripe about politics all we want. It doesn't matter. It is. You live. Everything you do is political. This is one of the things that has always driven me crazy about. I don't pay attention to politics. That's exactly what they want you to say because they pay attention to you. And you've got to recognize that not to pay attention doesn't mean you're removing yourself. It's not. And I'm not saying this to you, Susan. I'm just saying it is pollution. But at the end of the day, you are going to play whether you want to or not. And if you don't play, you're going to get rolled. And unfortunately, a lot of people only play when it comes to a national election, like the president. And sadly, as we've seen now through the stupid lockdowns and all this crap, it's the local, it's the authorities that matter a whole hell of a lot more than the president. That's for damn sure. And you don't want to lose friends over it, but my goodness, man. I mean, it's at the end of the day, yeah, you're gonna have to, you don't have to be as outright like I am. And again, this isn't just to Susan, everybody. This is everybody. You got to say, I have my principles, and I'm not going to sacrifice them. And if my principles need to be sacrificed to keep you as a friend or to stay here, like I started this whole conversation with 2 hours ago, to stay in this job, I have to make a decision. And sometimes a decision is tough. It really is. You got to separate from people that you would rather not separate from. Sometimes that means you might have to take a pay cut. Sometimes it means you have to do something you'd rather not do. Other times it says, my principles aren't, and that doesn't mean I'm not trying to disparage people. Sometimes you say, that is not a bridge worth dying or a hill dying on. Okay, and I hear that a lot. I agree, 100%. That's not a hill worth dying on. At some point, though, we're going to have to make a determination, what is the hill to die on? You see what I'm saying? And I don't know what that is. For me, it was the mask mandate stuff. When I saw all these governors, Republicans, I can't take your mask mandate. Mask mandates was based on clown science. Everybody knows it. It was all fake. And the fact that so many people adhered to it just going back to what Kwame Brown said today, it was crazy. He goes, once one person stands up and is not afraid, the whole freaking thing crumbles. Dude, this guy, I'm like, This was so spot on. It just takes one guy to say the emperor has no clothes. And once the one guy does, the whole thing crumbles. And this is what's happening now. And the mass brigade is like, they're scared because like they were able to get away with their song, and all of a sudden now they don't know what to do. And they're going to get worse. And they're going to, but let them scurry under the rocks. But now it's starting to crumble. You can see it crumbling all around. And you would wish that people would have allowed it to, made it crumble earlier. But hey, better late than never. But there are some things you got to take a stand on. So I'm not doing that. I'm not going to take your backs if you make me do the job. I'm not going to call myself a pronoun if you make me keep your job. I don't care. I'm just saying for you, it's got to be different than me. But you got to, at some point, the politics wants you to be, you're in their web. There's no other way around it. And we can pretend we're not, but you can't. You are there, and they're going to get you. And you might as well go down fighting, or else, it's better to die on your feet than live on your knees. Better dead than red. So anyway, masturbators. Yeah, that's what Sticks calls them. Right on, man. Again, Susan, I'm not bashing you for that. I'm not saying that. Right. Out of here. Thanks, y'all. God bless.